Right, hi folks. So, doing a vlog indoors today. Well, indoors and outdoors. It's a lovely day and I do feel like going out, to be quite honest. My instinct is to want to go out. But I've got a few bits and bobs that I need to do, and I want to make a video because I haven't made a video for a few days. People are going to start thinking I've disappeared or something. So anyway, I thought I'd show you the fence that I made. There's my little fence, because my old one rotted away and it started to break up, so I've had to make a new one. So that's my brand new little fence. It's just for here, you see. This is my garden. I know it's a bit of a tip at the moment. I used to have a nice little lawn when I first moved in here, and I got myself a little lawn together, and that was my lawnmower there, but it's now defunct and doesn't work. So I'm going to have to get a new one of them at some point. And there's my old fence. As you can see, look, it's all rotted away and what have you. It's all broken up, rotted away. So it goes in these little post holes here, you see. And it's just a little fence that was there when I moved in. So like I say, I went to the wood yard the other day and got myself some timber and made a new little fence. So I'm going to paint it today, later. And speaking of painting, I'm also going to show you some of my paintings. As I said, being an artist, that's another thing I haven't done for a good while. I haven't done any paintings for ages, maybe nearly a year now I haven't painted, to be quite honest, and I really want to try and get back into that at some point. Anyway, so like I said, this is my garden. As you can see, it's a little bit ramshackle, a little bit untidy, and this tree constantly drops leaves all year round. It's one of them evergreen things, and it drops its leaves constantly. So you can see there's a big massive pile of leaves in the corner over there. It's really annoying because I constantly have to sweep that path and constantly get leaves all over this garden. Anyway, but it's not my tree, it's next door, so I've tried chopping some of the branches down, and I have done in the past. I've chopped some of the branches off myself, but the higher up you get and the further in, it's the thicker the branches, and that's where I can't go any further. So to be quite honest, I mean, I love trees, I do love trees, but I mean, I'd love to be able to have that one chopped right back into, so it's overhanging his garden, not mine, because I'm just getting sick of those bloody leaves. Anyway, sorry, that's another little grumpy thing. I planted those. I got them from a flower shop in Herne Hill. They've grown over the last few years. Anyway, right, so back to the paintings. So this is a self-portrait that I did of me doing a self-portrait. So it's me painting me, essentially. So I'm trying to keep this in frame actually, because it's really difficult to judge how far away I am, and I'm doing it out in the garden because it's better light. The light in the house is not very good. Right, so there's the next one. So as you can see, that one's like of a man sitting cross-legged with his head in his hands, and that came from a photograph that I found of a guy sat in a lotus position, and I just did my own take on it. This one is quotes from female artists. I really like this, especially the top main quote, which says, "Being an artist means incessantly healing one's own wounds and simultaneously opening them again in the process." And I so identify with that, I really do. That makes a lot of sense to me. But there's lots of other quotes on there as well, which are equally as good. Anyway, right, so that's that one. And then you've got this one, which I did from a newspaper cutting, and it was about the miners' strike many years ago, back in the 80s. Unless you lived in this country around about that time, and unless you've learnt about the history of that, for those of you outside of the United Kingdom, if you don't know, we had some massive, when the coal miners, they went on strike because they were trying to shut down all the mines and blah, 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 blah. And anyways, there was lots of riots, and well, not riots so much, it was more about the fact that the police went in heavy-handed, and this was a photograph taken of I think she was a lady reporter at the time, and I'm not sure if he connected with her in subsequent photographs after that, I don't know, but I just thought it was a powerful image, and I felt the need to paint it. Okay, so oops, oh gold, I didn't know that, sorry. Trying to oh, for God's sake, oh man, sorry. Right, so I don't know how much that showed up just then, but there's a painting that I did here. It's a rather rude painting, and I didn't realise it was amongst this lot, and I can't even pick it up. Right, sorry, bear with me a second whilst I discreetly put that out of the way. Sorry about that, I didn't, like I say, I didn't know that was there. So hopefully you didn't see that, I hope. It is a bit of a rude painting. Oh dear. Anyway, so this one's based on the photograph of the guy running down the street in the 9/11 thing, when the guy was running down the street and the policeman behind him and somebody else and whatever, and a big cloud of the smoke as the building had collapsed. Quite an iconic picture, and again I sort of did my own take on it. I've also got an actual painting of that picture as well, as it was in the photograph, but that, again, that's just me experimenting with images. This one is obviously the moon landings, again because I'm a big fan of all that, and space travel and what man's capable of in the good sense. So you know, and I quite enjoyed that. Right, this is another self-portrait when I had hair. These days obviously I don't have hair, but when I did, it tended to grow all over the place anyway. It wasn't very difficult to keep straight and whatever. Anyway, so the thing is that this was based on a painting of when I was not feeling very good, shall we say, and that was sort of based on a really bad day I had, let's put it that way. Right, okay, so next one. So this one, sorry, I'm just got a bit fed up of kneeling down all the time. This one's based on a poem by a Scottish poet. Can't remember when he was alive when he did this, but the poem's called "I Am Not Yet Born," and the other images around it are meant to be that, like, the child is innocent until he's born into the world, and this is what he's got to look forward to, or she, all the troubles and tribulations in the world. Anyway, so it's based on that poem. So that's that one. This one again, experimenting with that same image of the guy running down the street, and it's just, like I say, I just experiment with images. You know, I try to do different things with the same image, just see what I come up with, basically. So again, that's just I don't know what it represents exactly. I couldn't tell you. It's, like I say, it's just me experimenting with different ideas, different things. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Right, now this one is from my time when I was in hospital for a little while, and that was the view out of my window. That was a desk inside my room, and it had all my bits and bobs on it, and it's so, and you can see the painting on the easel is the same painting I'm painting of the view out the window, and so on until it goes into infinity. Again, it's not one of my best ones, but it's alright. You know, some bits of it I thought were come out quite well, like the CDs, for instance. They're CDs, by the way, in the corner there. So, and the paintbrushes are not too bad. But anyway, so that's that one. This one is based on a photograph of an old phone that I had, and this phone, the phone that I had, what I did was I took a photograph of my eyes right up close to the little camera. And then I put different effects on it, and then I did a painting of it. And I've got two versions of this, because I've got this one, and then I've done a triptych. I don't know if people are familiar with what a triptych is. A triptych is 3 canvases that go to make up one painting. So it's a technique that artists use. You've probably seen them about. You don't necessarily just have to use 3 canvases, but that's the traditional way of doing it, and that's why I guess it's called a triptych. So, and then this is based on the film Kill Bill. That's a still image from the film Kill Bill. I'm sorry I'm all over the place with this. I'm having to kneel down and stand up, kneel down, stand up, because like I said, the light in my house is rubbish. It really is. I mean, you don't get a lot of light in there. It looks like a dark cavernous cave in there. If you look how dark it is in there, and yet it's broad daylight. The sun's out here, do you know what I mean? And yet that's how dark it looks in there, do you know what I mean? So, and I wanted to try and show these in their best light, sort of thing, or at least a good light anyway, because if I was doing it in there, it probably wouldn't show up as well. But now that means I'm having to get up and down to show you these paintings. Right, hang on, sorry. Right, so, right, this one, again, just experimenting with different images. You've got Bob Marley in that corner there. You've got an unknown dancer who's springing in the air on that one. The top face is Ice-T, and right in the middle, although you might not be able to discern it perhaps, because as you can see it's an eye, it's in the shape of a human eye, is Martin Luther King, but that might be difficult to see, to be quite honest. It's difficult to perhaps see it on there, I don't know. But again, it's just about experimenting with different ideas, different shapes, you know, different images, like I say, and see what I can come up with, basically. This one is based on a painting that my brother did. My brother who died, he did a painting once. He was an artist as well. He was very talented, our kid. He really was. But sadly he left us when he was very young, and never got a chance to perhaps shine as an artist at some point. I'm sure he probably would have. But anyway, he did this painting of a guy on a motorcycle, long flowing hair. His is much better than mine, way better than what I've done. But this is just a little homage, if you like, a little I can't think of the other word, sorry. It's a little, you know, a remembrance to him, do you know what I mean, sort of thing. So that was my version, and from my vague memory, because I mean, the last time I saw that painting I was about 7 years old, so that shows you how long ago it was. So I had to do it kind of from memory, but I do remember it. But anyway, so that's a sort of tribute to my brother. That will never get sold. That is a very personal painting to me, and that will never leave me. And this one is pretty self-explanatory, I guess. As you can see, it's a Dalek, and again, if you're not familiar with Doctor Who, it's an enemy of a time-traveling alien called the Doctor, who, that's his arch nemesis, or one of them anyway, because he does have a few. But that's a Dalek, with other Daleks flying around. And you might have noticed the Statue of Liberty in the corner there as well, which is unfinished, and deliberately so. Partly because I just got fed up with it, to be quite, if I'm really honest. I just got fed up with painting it. Oh dear. By the time I'd finished the Dalek and got around to the old Statue of Liberty, I was like, oh god, this painting's doing my head in, I've had enough. So I didn't finish it. Kind of wish I had now, really, but hey ho, never mind. Sometimes these things can work out for the right thing. Right, okay, so I'm going to leave the video there for now, and what I'm going to do in a bit, I think I'm going to paint my fence shortly. I may video some of that, I may not, depending how I feel. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to do a I know I've done a couple before, but there's a certain person, Silky Says, who I haven't spoken to for a couple of days, and she'll be wondering what's happened. I think she'll be thinking, oh no, he's fallen out with me, or he doesn't like me, or whatever. I don't know. She might not even be thinking any of those things. It might be just me that's thinking that. But just to rest assured, you see how dark it is in here. Sorry. Just to be rest assured, Silky, I've not forgotten you, and I've not fallen out or anything. It's just that I've, just been distracted by a lot of other things. So anyway, like I say, I will do a tour of the house. That's what I was trying to say. Is that I know I've done a couple before, but I'm going to do a bit more of a detailed one. Specifically for Silky, to be quite honest, because I wanted to show her my house, because I like showing it off, and at the same time I can show it to the rest of the guys, rest of my subscribers, as it were. Right, okay, so let's say what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn off. I'm going to start painting my fence and maybe film a bit of that. I'm not sure yet. Right, catch you guys later. Bye for now.